having read Zetetic Astronomy, Eric Dubay's book, 200 Proofs the World is Not a Spinning Ball, Gleason's book from the 1890s, as well as I've reviewed so much material on Flat Earth from YouTube. Listen, I'm left with a conundrum. What's on the outside of the Flat Earth dome? What's the point of a contained environment? Contained from what? Concave Earth, crater Earth, the moon map concept. These are all soulless constructions that lead inescapably to a world of absolute confinement. There is no cosmology attached to Flat Earth. If Flat Earthers are cool with that, then so am I. I mean, who am I to argue against what somebody else wants to believe? Are there countless flat earth domed worlds? I mean, if so, then what are they held together by? In a gigantic secondary containment field full of domes, each housing another world? Who built that apparatus? What's on the outside of that containment field? So a leap is made that when one dies, they go straight to a spirit world. It's called heaven, where they die happily ever after. No more mysteries matter. So, I can agree. I'm Jason of Archaix, and I'm telling you now, I can agree that the plane is flat. I can also agree that the sky is domed. I further agree that the dome is a solid construction. All 3 points, I'm in agreement. But I can't allow myself to be called a flat earther because the concept leaves wanting too many unknowns. But these unknowns, they don't go unanswered in simulacrum theory. In the Archaix premise, this flat-planed, domed world of beautiful holography has a definite purpose. It is my position that we humans are on both the inside and outside of the construct. Inside the simulacrum, we have been basically able to produce the phenomena of different biospheres to test human survivability. Introduce new climatic conditions, and we've even made mistakes. I mean, the evidence is everywhere, for which we've had to reboot the system. We call them resets. Now, sometimes we have found value in running 2 or more holographic simulations to see how events would play out. And when we obtained the data, we then collapsed those holographies. They were no longer of service. And from inside the construct, this has been baffling to us. To find these fossils of the construct that basically leave behind trace artifacts of worlds that formerly we didn't even believe existed. Histories that we have no records for. The Archaix position is rather simple. Everything from 5239 BC to the year 2178 Common Era here in the near future is simulated. Everything. Everything we've discovered about history and even the present world we're living in right now is all simulated. Even as I say these words, all part of a series of simulated periods punctuated by breaks that we call edits or resets. The they who are traveling through another universe right now, running all these sims, probably from being on board some capital ship between 2 stars. The they is us. I'm not transposing that on other identities to increase the mystery. No, it's us. We are doing this to ourselves. Now, I'm going to go as far as say even the predicted events of 2040 and 2046 are all part of the sim, which does not collapse until 2178, for which I've provided a video to show where that number is encoded in our arithmetic. It is collapse signature. Now, there are some who hold, and I'm going to tell you, I'm open to this possibility that all of this is a simulation conducted within a simulation as a measure of insulation to protect a quarantining that was necessary to make sure that there was no cross-pollination between the simulated context and the outside world. I'm on board with that. There are several people before me who had mentioned that in the premise of ancestor simulations. So I'm on board with a lot of that. But as I pointed out, numerous times. Simulation theory is an attempt to make sense of the Archaix data. It is not the focus of Archaix. It never has been. The Archaix research stands absolutely independent of any requirement to make sense of it. The history of the world is documented by me and shown multiple times in multiple different mathematical vantage points shows it is too precise. It is packed with demonstrable patterns that don't make sense. They're not natural. They don't occur naturally in nature. Now, even AIX, Artificial Intelligence X, could be a part of the construct just to make the experience more believable. I'm on board with that too. Believe me, I have great capacity to change my mind, but it takes hard data. It takes a lot to change my mind, but I've done it. Remember, guys, I spent my entire life as a Southern Baptist Christian, believing it. I have the biblical notes. I have the notes and handwritten notes to prove that I read that Bible 40 to 50 times through Genesis to Revelation in my search for the discovery of God and our place in this creation. I've done that, and to move away from that in just a short period of time, and then turn around and wrap 100% of the Archaix data around simulation theory, that took a lot. I told you guys in prior videos I went through a very dark time for about 6 months. I had basically become unmoored from reality when I had left one paradigm to embrace another. So I get it. It's difficult. But I'm willing to entertain, basically, I don't know. I'm open-minded to these things. So you decide, basically, what you're willing to entertain on your journey to learn about who we are and where we're going. That's not a decision I can make for anybody. Are you in a closed system that God created nowhere, that is floating nowhere, and despite being physical, it is located nowhere until God destroys it and you'll be a spirit happily ever after? If that's your belief system, I applaud you, but it's not mine, not anymore. Or are you experiencing a temporary situation in an avatar, an artificial world of simulated complexity that is located inside a real universe, incomprehensibly vast because the oversoul has never stopped creating? The Archaix data is only confusing when other paradigms are mixed with its tenets. When people trying to imagine a simulated world, they attempt to use frames of reference borrowed from other concepts that do not match. My own belief, I believe that we're running multiple simulacrums, or that we are in multiple simulacrums at the same time. And a simulation is merely a copy of a place that is quite real. To run simulations of a fantasy world and expect output that can be used and even acted upon to base projections on data delivered from a false version, it would be absolutely pointless. That's a lot of energy expended to do nothing. There could be no reliable data resulting from running sims in a biosphere that did not perfectly match the real biosphere for which the tests are conducted. None of it would make sense. We would be introducing even more mysteries. But this isn't the Rubicon. I'm not asking for anyone to take sides. To me, Flat Earth, with its amazing experiments, its discoveries, which I bought into for a while, it's a bridge to the seeker, but it's a dead end to the believer. This mental shift from Flat Earth to simulacrum is very easy. Nothing inside the Flat Earth model under the dome changes. But now, realizing this one world is but a simulation among many in a real universe out there totally changes the perspective. On the outside of the simulacrum, we are humans. We are technologically advanced, and we are spiritual beings, immortals, purposely volunteering for simulacrums, because in going through them, this is how we receive the upgrades to our avatars. Not this avatar, not this Jason, but the real avatar on the outside of the construct. Immortal personalities with an unlimited supply of newer and newer avatars that enjoy more and more of an ever-expanding creation. This is my position. This is the archaic position. Nothing else makes sense in the amalgamation of so much data that I have put together and I have shared with you guys. And a lot more data is on the way. But this is where I'm at right now. Will it change in a couple years with contact with new information? Will something happen that will completely be paradigm shattering? I'm open to that. But it's got to be persuasive. And if it's not logically laid out before me, I won't accept it.